Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Okay, it is the month of June. We are, I guess, technically almost in the middle of summer. And of course, I always like to mix up and just change up my everyday carry. First, let's start off with the flashlight. This is the newly released, I say newish as in they debuted it at SHOT Show and it kind of released within the last month. The Streamlight PolyTac 1X. This is a fantastic flashlight when it comes to build quality. It's a 500 lumen output, but I'm telling you, don't let the only 500 lumen thing throw you for a loop, because this thing can work off of 3 different battery platforms depending on what you have laying around. This can work off of the preferred, which is the SLB9. It also can work off CR123s. And so you do have different options of how you can run this just in case you're in a pinch. So it's a 3-in-1 fuel system. It has an incredibly well-built build quality. The thing I like about it, the pocket clip is glued in place with screws, so you don't have to worry about it slipping on you. If you want to move the pocket clip, there's screws on the other side, so just in case you don't like the placement of the pocket clip, you can move it. Steel pocket clip, very great, just good beam pattern. So you can see here, even 500 lumen, you can just see how good that spot is. And this is 10 tap programmable. So when I have mine set up right now, that if I have press in between, it goes to strobe mode. But you can tap the back of this 10 times and program. Do you want it to come on high only? Do you want it to come on low high? Do you want it to come on high low? Do you want to get rid of strobe altogether? You can program this just by tapping the rear button. If you don't use an SLB9 battery, if you use the CR123As, I think you only get like 350 lumen out of this. So I would say it really depends on what model, and you can also use I think the 14500 or a AA in here, which obviously gets the lowest output of all of them. At the end of the day, I would say get the one that allows for you to have the SLB9 battery that Streamlight makes, and then also pick up a few spare CR123As. That will let you just always have a couple extra batteries. They won't have the same lumen output, or get some more SLB9 batteries if you want to. It's really up to you. I like the way this feels. It's just a very good flashlight. I think this might be the flashlight that I end up carrying when I am not testing another flashlight, because it's just that good. I like the way that they built this thing out. We got to talk about one of the big old elephants in the room. This is the Montana by Montana Knife Company. I have had the joy of carrying this since before it came out, so I'm putting this in the pocket for a little bit longer so I can give you my full breakdown and opinion about it. But let me just tell you straight up, if you like the way this looks and you are okay with the price, buy this knife, okay? Are there comparables on the market that can get you the same type of performance for significantly less? Absolutely. You can get something from Civivi, okay, decent Nitro V, or maybe 14C 28M blade steel, liner lock, whatever, and spend $100. This has a little bit more to it, okay? The ceramic ball bearings they did on this, buttery smooth, makes the detent fantastic, makes the opening action just great, doesn't matter how you try to do it. The thumb studs, they seem to like be very, very well placed. My complaints about this knife as it stands right now is that I think we could have probably got rid of the USA made part, right? Even though it looks dope, I think it just kind of crowds the front of the knife up, and just went with MKC. I think that would have been dope, just to kind of do that. And then also, I would have liked to see a little, the design on these scales do kind of have this zebra-esque pattern to them, if you see as it catches the light as I go back and forth. But I kind of wish they would have gave me a little bit more with the G10. The G10 definitely has patterning to it. So it has an arrowhead right here. And then I'll hit this with a macro lens, because the G10 has this texture that almost looks like baby arrowheads in the G10. It's pretty dope. And the reason I say that the pivot here also has Montana Knife Company branding on it, I think they could have dropped that. Okay. Those are like my initial complaints. A full review will be coming on this once I have a little bit more time in my pocket. It's $390, okay? If you want the very first made folding pocket knife from Montana Knife Company, you're paying for the R&D, you're paying for any newly acquired equipment, you're paying for fully American made in their shop. And if they don't make it in their shop, they're getting that item from somewhere else in America. But if you wholly decide for the first time to make the hardware, the pocket clip, the everything in your shop for the first time, is going to cost some money. Plus you got a namesake, and it's the very first model that people will get their hands on. So it's, it kind of is what it is. You're either going to like it or you're not. I like the knife a ton. This literally was my only liner lock I owned. I just picked up a Civivi headbanger the other day, which is a liner lock knife. Well, you got to check out today's video sponsor, which is Veer, and their RS1 Rally chronograph. I like chronographs because I like just the look of them. They work in like basically any environment. I wore this to the gym earlier today, and I also could wear this to work. I can wear this while we're cutting the grass, change out the band if I think that, hey, I don't really want to wear a stainless steel band or strap to the gym. Easily change it out because it just has two little prongs and you're in and out. I like the Mecha Quartz movement that is in this watch. I love having a chronograph because doing a foot race, you want to do a quick lapse in time, push the button, it starts the actual ticker, the seconds timer here. You stop it if you want to. Then you can also reset it. So very, very dope. It has a time lapse of each minute that passes if you are running that the chronograph itself. And then of course it has the seconds hand. It's just a very, very dope fit. Love the way that this thing is built and just how well made it is. These things are very, very elegant. This is a cream. They also have like a panda edition, which is pretty dope as well. I like the cream version because I think it kind of goes with like everything, right? It just looks really good on the wrist. I decided to buy the actual bracelet. So I liked it that much that I was like, yeah, I think I'll spend the money and get the bracelet myself. Looks really good on my 7.5-inch wrist. Probably take a couple more links out of my bracelet because I've lost a little weight lately and it just got a little big on there. But I'm really a big fan of this. Check out the links down below for the best pricing on this 10 atmospheres sapphire crystal glass lockdown screw down watch. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed because for me personally, I'm a big fan of a watch that keeps me from wearing a smartwatch. I have my little fitness tracker that I use every day as well. Now, this may not necessarily always be in my pocket, but I am back to a multi-tool, at least for this month. I'm getting my fence redone. I'm getting a wrought iron fence put in, a wood fence put in. I am getting my pool redone. I'm having to do a lot of DIY stuff myself along with the professionals, right? So to save some money here and there, I'm going to do the electrical work on the pool controller. I'm going to, remove the old equipment and cap off the PVCs until the new stuff comes in. So it's just nice to know that, of course, I'll have my toolbox with me, but it would really suck to know that on my 1993 piece of old equipment, there's a slotted screwdriver, a flathead screw out there, right? And I have to run all the way back to my toolbox just to get a slotted screwdriver when there's one built into my multi-tool, stuff like that. I've modified my Leatherman Free P4 to now include a full-size bit driver, so it does do 1/4-inch bits. It also can do the 4mm bits right here. This almost is nonsensical. I guess you could use it this way, but I never use these 4mm bits. But this is a very good makeup for me. I was gonna carry my Leatherman Arc, but I decided to go with the Free P4 because I still want the ability to open this one-handed, but this is probably going to get used and abused this month around old pool equipment. I'm going to have to acid wash my pool in preparation for plaster. I don't want to mess that up. So this one is what I decided to go with. The Free P4 is discontinued. There are still ability to get the Free P2. I'll link that up down below. Matter of fact, I'll link up down below anything that I find for you guys so you can check these out. Great multi-tool, made in America. The free opening technology means I can have one hand on a project, still be working it. This may not be in my pocket every day, but if I'm going to be doing shit around the house that day, it will be in my pocket. Okay. My knife will be in my pocket. This will be in my left pocket. It's just no negotiating on that. I did go with a key bar key organization system. I went with their G10 in this like green colorway. I like this. Of course, I had the diamond hash pattern, and as much as I like that, it's discontinued. And I really wanted to just try something new from them. I love the way that they're doing these pocket clips. You have the option where you can get the pocket clip that comes out this way or come over top. They have really good tools on here now. And of course, you can even add additional tools from their website. So this also has a bottle cap lifter. It has a pry bar slash slotted screwdriver. And then you can technically use this on boats in a pinch because it does have a groove in here to use on different size boats. And it has a small ruler on the other side, as well as a diamond file here on the back. The file almost seems useless. I mean, I guess I can point it out like this and kind of use it, but you know, if you need to touch up something, there's a file on here as well. My keys are pretty organized. I like this. They have a new, bigger mag nut that they make now. I'm going to put it on my keys probably for a month. It's designed to hold 20 pounds. I'm going to see how it feels to use it because I primarily keep my keys separated from one another. And so I normally will have my keys for the house oftentimes just off on their own, and then the actual keys to my vehicle are off by themselves. But this is a strong magnet designed to hold like a backpack, really, not a set of keys. I'm still using the cash system by Wingback. This allows for me to keep a little hidden $20 bill in there just in case I go to a facility or somewhere that does not accept, you know, cards, or I forget my wallet, or, you know, the credit card machine is down or whatever. I have a little bit of cash with me at all times just in case I were to need it. And this is just kind of like how my entire system works. So that's a strong ass magnet. So I really like the way that is set up. I probably organize my keys a little bit more because my little USB-C drive is kind of getting in the way, but I kind of like the way that it's set up, the way that it's looking, the way that's working out for me. I went back to the Proof wallet, and I like the Proof wallet because now you can change these plates out. You may remember last month, this was a brass plate. I literally was able to go back to the black aluminum plate. Just that easy. Change out these 4 little boats. You can take it off and put a new one on. You can also change the color of these boats. I have the black leather on this bad boy. This is like a hodgepodge setup for me, but I like the way it works. This lets me put a little bit of cash back here if I need to. Then I have the Esker card finder in here, right? So if I were to lose this wallet or someone to steal it, most people wouldn't know that this is a Find My device that works on the Apple Find My network. So this will allow for me to find exactly where my wallet is at all times. It looks like it could just be a card or RFID blocking technology type shit, but it's actually a tracker. Then of course I can pull this up, access all my cards. This is just a really good system. If I'm not testing out a wallet, this is the wallet I always go back to. So when I get new wallets in and I'm testing them out, I always kind of miss the Proof wallet. It's owned by a Marine veteran. It's always extra points for me, so I like that as well. So I also wanted to do a little bit of pocket art. I go to a lot of parties with friends during the summer. I'm not normally a pocket art type of guy, okay? However, we're going to be rocking the Copper Shed bottle cap lifter. They make these in copper. They make them in brass. They're very heavy. You can keep it in your pocket. You can put it on your key ring, which I'm not going to do because I don't want this big bulky thing on my key ring. Or you can put it in your fist if you have a fist fight and just use it to harden your punch and possibly not break your fingers during a fist fight. I like the way it looks. I like the fact you can open up suds with this. It's a great talking piece. Let your buddy use it. And I just like that these are made in America in a guy's shed. It's called Copper Shed for a reason. I smoke sticks, also going to those parties. Gotta have the ability to light my own cigar, even if I gotta kind of rig up the cutting process because I'm not carrying a cutter in my pocket this month. I still want a butane torch. So we're going to be rocking the Montana Knife Company's Zippo. They had a collaboration with Zippo, and they have a bunch of different designs you can get from their website. But I do have a Zippo blue butane insert in here. It's a double flame. I like that blue contrast. I think it looks really good. Get the Zippo sound. All that works out really, really well. I saved my boomstick for damn near last because I'm having a lot of issues with it. I'm probably going to have to take this, get the sight pushed out, and actually get this board out to properly fit this plate because this outer impact plate, every time I go to the range, this thing comes off. And it's designed to only be screwed into the iron sight port back here. And I wanted to go away from iron sights for the first time. I've since put I think I'm a little bit over 1,000 rounds with this setup with the O-sight red dot, the outer plates plate, all this. But the last time I went to the range, the shit came loose. I was not a fan of that. So now I gotta get this thing together. So what's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna push this out, go with iron sights until I get it bored down and I can get the plate on here correctly. But it's still my go-to. Got a Beretta 40 caliber. We do have the Streamlight TLR3X on here. It's a great light to be able to push those paddles down. I love that Streamlight gives you additional paddles in the box so you can figure out exactly which one works for you. This is a very, very great boomstick. The projectiles are go down range really, really easily. And so I'm just a big old fan of it. I like the fact that, you know, these are, although made in Italy, they're very well made. I've had mine for over a decade. And with this new setup, I'm only 1,000 rounds in, but overall with the weapon, I put tons and tons of through it. Hopefully we can get that remedy. Now, there will be times when I am not always carrying a folding pocket knife. Sometimes I like to mix it up, especially if I'm going out to bars and places where you're allowed to bring a knife. So that's when I normally want a more defensive stance on my knife that won't fold back on my fingers. So Tour, they make their knives in America. I love this knife. It's a small, very functional, pretty full grip, although it is not necessarily designed for fighting. I just like the fact that it looks really good. You can see this a very aggressive G10 and the way that they sculpt this out and just looks a full tang knife. This is rocking M4 blade steel. It's going to be great for rust resistance. And then I like the blade shape. I just like the functionality of it. It does come with a sheath, but the sheath is naked. You're going to have to come up with your own solution for getting this sheath together. I went with the Alti clip. Maybe you decide you go with the DC. It's a lot of different options. They give you plenty of spaces on the Kodak sheath to make it happen, but it doesn't come with a way to mount this to your body. Okay, you got to figure that out, or to your gear or your kit. So you have to figure that out. So that's not always in my pocket. And of course, we're still rocking the Wingback Journeyman. Love having a real pen on me, signing contracts for work around the house. I like using my own pen. It kind of brings back memories. And just, I always just like to have something with me. I'm about to get ready to travel to go see friends and family in Ohio. And there's some important stuff I have to do with a lot of my signature type stuff. So I will bring my own pen to those type of events. We're going to do a video soon on the new Nutsack Commander, but it now comes in leather. So if you want to see that, make sure you get linked up, because see the patina action from my double admin pouch that I've had for 3 years. See how it used to look brand new and pretty. I usually will carry a pouch in my bag, so we'll do a video on my bag, my pouch. And this is a complimentary item. It doesn't necessarily get carried every day. Normally it makes it to the gym every day. So, hey, it is what it is. If you want to see what I take to the gym with me every day, because it's not really necessarily always this stuff, check out the video that I leave on the screen. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grade. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.